Guys, Tiffany back again from Southern Gals Designs. I just wanted to, I had 2 videos in one day. Wow. I wanted to show you my idea that I come up with for a swap that I'm doing over at yourpaperpantry.ning.com. This is a Mailart envelope swap, and the theme was Mixed Media Mayhem. So when I saw that it was mixed media, I was like, oh, that's right up my alley. I signed up, and we have to create 5 envelopes. So last time I did this, which was my vintage grunge video that I did with Mailart, I actually created all of the envelopes the same. This time I'm going with a different approach and kind of changing things up because I have crafter's ADD. I'm just joking. But I don't like to do repetitive things over and over again. So to spice it up a little bit, I kind of come up with the idea that I'm going to use for everyone, but everything's going to be a little different. So let's get started. This is actually what I came up with for the first envelope. I used Collage, spray inks, acrylic paints, cut out a catalog. Actually it was I think it was Southern Living or something. I used really several different things. This was the black Sharpie paint pen, which I'm in love with right now because I think it's fantastic. I did a little inking here, stamps with the waterproof ink, and some doodles and things like that. And then on the back I just took and did some actual scraps of paper towels that I've used to soak up some inks and paints and stuff like that, and I actually kind of put it on the back. I thought it looked pretty cool. So we're going to walk through the process. It's going to be different than this one, but you'll get the idea. So here we go. I'm just using a store-bought envelope that I got in a pack of envelopes at the thrift store, and I've already went ahead and collaged. There's lots of collage videos out there on YouTube. I also did pretty much the same format that I did in my vintage grunge collage envelope. I like to collage, so if you need to know how to do it, you can reference one of my videos, or there's plenty of ideas I'm sure on YouTube. So with the collage, I did some text. I did out of a book. I found an old recipe that a lady had wrote that I actually scanned in and tore bits and pieces of it. This is painted magazines. If you've watched any of my videos, you know I like to paint magazines and use those. This is a paper towel that I use to soak up some things. So pretty much anything and everything that I have little giblets of on the table, that's what I use. The next thing I did to kind of prep for this was I went ahead and I made a freehand owl out of, I think this was mixed media or 140-pound cardstock. It's pretty thick though. It's not going to, it's not going to be flimsy. So I just freehanded that, colored it with some acrylic paints, and cut it out. So that's pretty much, I knew I wanted to have an owl on it. I knew I wanted to use some letters in the form of a word for the envelope like I did on the create portion of the other one. So that's kind of as far as I've gotten. And if you watched my video from earlier today on the ATCs that I created for spring, you'll see I'm in this kind of mode of actually birds and branches. I guess it's something to do with spring fever. But all I'm doing now is I'm just going to take the Liquitex Basics acrylic gesso. I'm putting some of that in my palette over here that I'm going to water down and give a coat of it on here. So we have a nice foundation to kind of work off of. And I'm going to try not to get this in my glass of water because I have a habit of putting my water close to my water. My water close to my water, that didn't even make any sense. My brush, dirty water, over beside my glass of drinking water. And, well, let's just say it doesn't always work out great. So if gesso or acrylic paint could kill you, I probably would be dead because I've accidentally drank some. But that probably shouldn't be anything you know. So, okay, we're just going to go over this with like a whitewash of the gesso. And really all I'm wanting here is just to lighten the background so that the colors are not extremely bright on the back, but kind of muted. And this will actually give us a little tooth for our next painting things that makes it stick really good. So that's good there. I'm going to dry this. Okay, so that's pretty dry. You want to make sure it's good and dry. And what I'm going to use is London Blue Dilutions ink, the Fresh Lime, and I may add in a little Pure Sunshine sprays in there too. And so I haven't really thought this part out too much. So let me get a scrap piece of paper here, because I'm thinking I kind of want to let the blue, well, that's not quite going to give me the coverage. Let's see. Paper.
Here we go. Alright, so this is where the envelope starts. Okay, so I'm just going to give it some, we're going to go with the, there, and then, I don't know how many it is, but we're just going to, okay, so this I'm going to let just drip. If I had a straw in here, we could actually use the straw technique where you blow and actually get it in the areas you want.
Love how all that texture created. Okay, so now I'm just going to dab it with a paper towel. And we all know that I save the paper towels because we use it in other projects, and we'll actually use some old paper towel in this one as well. So I'm just going to dab it off. Okay. And I'm going to dry it real quick. Alright, and I'm going to grab a stencil up here, and I'm going to try to move the camera, maybe, so you guys can kind of see. Maybe not. Okay, I have my stencils, or some of my stencils, that I've actually put onto a frame that is hanging with, like a piece of twine, and it has a little clip up there. And so I come up with that this morning because my 12 by 12s do not sit in my my file cabinet that my smaller ones do. So I'm gonna grab one up here. I got this, it's a Heidi Swap one that I haven't used yet, and I'm gonna use this little arrows right here on this one, and hopefully I didn't make y'all too drunk. I'm actually quite motion sick. I get motion sickness very easily, so I don't want to do that to anyone. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with, I'm getting some inks out of here, the Distress inks, and my little blending thing that broke that I haven't glued back together yet. So I have the Tumbled Glass, the Victorian Velvet, and the Wild Honey. So let's start here. I may not use all of them, but and be careful too. I see that I got a little dots on my owl when I was doing the sprays. That doesn't bother me, but just if it's something important that you don't want to get sprayed on, make sure that you do those sprays either in a box or away from the rest of your projects. So this, I'm just going to take my blending thing into my Distress ink, the Tumbled Glass, and we're going to do a little stenciling on here. And this is going to be ever so small of a, I don't know what word I'm trying to use here. It's not going to be a lot It's not going to be a bold stencil. It's just going to be very light and transparent back here, which I like that. Let's see, is there anything else on here I want to use? Maybe we'll kind of do one. That blue is not going to show up on the blue. Let me see. Maybe this one will. The, what was that? Wild Honey. Let's see if it'll show up at all. It may. I'm shaking the table and my water over there is jiggling. Okay. Oh yeah, that looks nice. I like that. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to grab some gelatos. Which, let me show you guys what my find was at Goodwill. While I've got this up, let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. Okay. So, this is a caboodle. Caboodle. And I found it at the thrift store I went to. And you open it like this. Uh-oh. Well, I'm probably about to tear something up. And it goes like this. And I'm going to use it for all my little art supplies that I want to maybe take with me or something. I thought it was cute. So, alright. Back on to the project. So I'm going to take my gelatos / gel sticks by Faber-Castell, and I'm going to do a little, I love using these. You probably already caught on to that. I want to kind of use a little of this. I think this is the metallic gel sticks. I got this little, some kind of little box because I can't find my acrylic. And it works fine anyway. So I'm just going to take a stamp. I don't really know what kind of stamp this is. Any script, text, whatever. It's not the purpose of the actual what's the stamp say. It's just going to give us a little bit of background and texture to it. A little pattern back there. Just random. Alright, so that's good. And that was using the archival acid-free waterproof stamps there. So, alright, I think I'm ready to start painting. And I'm probably going to add to this background as we go along. But this brown here is the Craft Smart, which I believe is Michael's brand paint. I'm just putting a little bit of this into, that's what I'm going to create the branch out of. Alright. I so don't take care of my paintbrushes as well as I should. But I'm just going to, let me get my owl out so I can see. I'm kind of thinking I want him, this is where the envelope flap's going to be. I'm kind of thinking I want him to be somewhere right here, and that way you could put an address if you actually use this. I want to make it where people can use it if they want to. And so I'm just going to freehand a branch for my little bird. And you could very well sketch this out, but that is, yeah, well, that's not me. And this is a wild branch here because I want to make sure I don't cover up the space for people to put their address and so forth, because he's going to sit up here like this. So and I'll probably add some more details to the branch. But right now I just want to kind of show you the idea. Okay, so that's good. Oops. And then on my other video, I used the olive green Craft Smart and the Lush Foliage Craft Smart paint. And so I still have some of that in my palette over here. And I'm going to do pretty much the same process I did on my ATC. I'm going to just take my finger and mix it with the two. And then just going to create my little branch here with my... And I still want the transparency of the collage to show from behind. So I'm not trying to give this a lot of coverage. I'm just wanting to create the illusion of branches. And so you kind of get the idea of where. And I'm going to add a little bit right here. Like that one has a little bit coming out. Okay, so now let me dry this. Go back with the Pitt Artist Faber-Castell pen, cold gray, and kind of create some definition that you know that that's a wonky looking. I like that word, wonky looking. A little, you know, something. And like I say, you could go very complex, and I'm just not that kind of girl. Okay, and then I'm going to outline the branches here with this pen while I have it out. Okay. Alright, that's a crazy looking tree, but oh well. Alright, so here's where my little owl's gonna go. And I'm gonna glue him down with what? I'm gonna glue him down with some thicker Liquitex matte gel medium here, because I want to make sure he's good and stuck. And I like this thicker when you have cardstock or something heavy that you're putting on. Collage I do a lot with the Liquitex, it's liquidier. But this, I want to get it good and stuck on there. Okay. So we're going to put him, I'll say about right here. Okay. Let's try. So that's good enough for me to move on, but we want to make sure that's good. And I'm probably actually going to put this under a book whenever I'm through showing you the process, just to make sure we get him good and stuck down. Okay, so now we need to create some feet for this little owl. Where? Okay, here's my Sharpie water-based paint pen. And I'm not sure what little owl feet look like, but I think it's like three little triangles. That's what mine's going to be. Okay, so you get the idea. That's the thought behind it. And I'm going to, now I want to just add a little more definition to this tree over here with the little This is just a green marker, number 4. And it's not doing a very good job of writing on that. I think I have another one somewhere in my bag, but I will have to find it. I'm just going to do it with this little... Cool beans. Alright, now, another thing I want to do is I wanted it to have a word. And when I was drawing this little owl, I was thinking, I want my word on this one to be laugh. Because it makes me laugh that he is so freaking cute. And I would just be thrilled to get an envelope like this in the mail. And so I hope if someone does mail this, that it makes them smile and laugh too. So I'm thinking like that down here. And all I'm going to do now is, I guess we'll use the same gel matte medium because I already have it out. And that's how I roll. Why dig in the drawer if you don't have to? Okay, I don't know what I just used to deal with that other paintbrush, but we'll use this one. So, alright, we're just going to dip a little bit in here. Put my little word. And I don't care if it's straight or not, because I think it's, the purpose of this is to be whimsical and, you know. So that is good and glued down. And I'm going to and now while that's really good and drying, I'm going to flip it over and show you what I did to the back. And there's some, take my Yoo-Hoo glue stick and some scraps of paper towels that I had over here. And you could do a whole sheet, and I would. But I have these sitting right here, so I'm just going to take and put a little... I like to decorate the back of my envelopes too. Just a little bit. I don't put as much work on the back as I do on the front, just because nobody hardly ever looks at the back of the envelope. So, alright, that one's got a little... Okay. And I'm not really wanting to cover the entire space on the back. I just want to add a little visual interest so when they get it, they actually have a little fun stuff on the back too. Alright, and I'm just taking it, and make sure if you, most paper towels that you use for your kitchen is like a 2-ply or 3-ply paper towel. Make sure you tear the parts, you know how many plies, how thick it is, so you can take those apart and actually, alright, that's getting a little bit too, I'll use that now. Alright, here we go. Paper towel. Alright, I think I've already split this one. Yeah, this is just 1-ply. So I'm just going to take, man, I got something in my mouth. Okay, I'm just going to take and they say the Yoo-Hoo glue sticks are supposed to be really good for people who live in high humid climates. So I've been happy with it so far.
I actually think I ordered these on Amazon and they were very, very inexpensive compared to, them being a quality product. So I got a whole box of them. Okay. Alright, good and coated here.
Alright, now what I'm going to do is go back with some some of the, actually I might just use the matte Mod Podge stuff, because it's a sealer and a glue. Because with the, with it being paper towel, it's very thin, so it could easily come off in slivers. So I want to make sure it's good and stuck. Okay, so that's looking good to me. Okay, so the other thing you want to do in that, when you put that down, is you want to make sure you're not sticking your envelope top and bottom pieces together. Alright, so we'll let that dry a little bit longer, but I want to go back on this side, and all I'm going to do is just take and tear this or cut this with some scissors so that, you know, it's all smooth there. And one other thing I want to do too really quick, and this is going to about 30 minutes, so I'm not sure if this is going to be on 1 or 2 videos, but I'm just going to outline the letters that we cut from the magazine, just to really make them stand out.